Hello, fine folks. How's your day? I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. Today we're diving into some top-tier petty revenge. Picture this. A sister-in-law throws a fit after getting popcorn for Christmas. But little does she know, she's about to get what she truly deserves. Let's jump into the story.
Sister-in-law fumes about getting popcorn for Christmas. So this happened a few years ago, but my husband just reminded me of it after we had Christmas with his family yesterday. A little context first. My husband has 3 older sisters and the oldest is an absolute pill. I know the word narcissist gets thrown around a lot, but it's the best way to describe her. She is God's gift to the planet. Every guy wants to date her, every woman wants to be like her. And that's why no one will help her because they are jealous and want to pull her down. This is how she thinks about herself. Everything in her life is bad, and she is constantly complaining and making herself be the victim. So, after 8 years of her negativity and making herself out to be the victim, I decided to pull a tiny little prank and make her the actual victim. Because if I have to listen to her crap, I want it to actually be real. So about a month before Christmas, the family gets a text from her with a list of things she wants/needs for Christmas. She was 45 years old at this point. In the text, she made a big deal to mention how she does not want popcorn and goes into a rant saying how she always gets so much popcorn every year and she used to eat it a lot, but she doesn't really eat it anymore, so don't get her any. Well, I decided to buy her popcorn. I wrapped it up in some wrapping paper that I didn't use for anyone else, so it can't be tied to me. Wrote her name in big capital letters with Sharpie, so it doesn't look like my handwriting, and didn't sign a name who it was from. Again, no ties to me. The day of the in-law Christmas came, and while unloading the Christmas presents, I snuck it under the treeway in the back away from all the gifts we brought. In the middle of the gift opening, she opens a present from one of the other sisters, and it's a box of popcorn. LOL. She goes into this long-winded rant about how she asked to not get any, and why can't anyone ever listen to what she says, blah, blah, blah. The sister apologizes. One of the nieces offers to take it, and the whole incident is brushed under the rug. The gift giving goes on, and there's one more gift under the tree, tucked away in the back. It's pulled out, given to her, and she opens it. Then proceeds to lose her sheet. For the next 5 minutes she goes off, making the biggest deal about it, questioning who did it, looking at the wrapping paper and not finding who it's from, trying to identify the wrapping paper. It was a glorious thing to behold. At this point, everyone is tired of her, and all the gifts were open, so she gets ignored because they are all talking amongst themselves. To this day, my husband is the only one who knows it was me, and he didn't know about it till we were in the car leaving. Every time I have to put up with her, I just remember I'm the one who gave you the popcorn, beach. And suddenly, as if magic, she doesn't quite irritate me as much. LOL.
Well, fine folks, here's a festive example of petty revenge done right. When you've got a sister-in-law who thrives on drama and plays the victim card nonstop, you might as well give her something real to complain about, right? The popcorn prank was genius, simple, hilarious, and harmless, yet it drove her up the wall. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is wrapped in holiday cheer with a side of buttery goodness.
Moving out everything. Several years ago, my best friend was unexpectedly dumped by her boyfriend of 3 years. This man had told her he loved her, had been talking about marriage, had encouraged her to quit her job and go back to school, and gave every appearance that he wanted to care for her. A couple of weeks after she resigned from her job and applied for her master's degree, he abruptly informed her that he had never loved her and that it was over. We later found out that he had cheated on her. Of course, my friend was blindsided and hysterical, but hell hath no fury like a woman's support circle. She gathered herself and decided fairly quickly that she would not be able to stay in the apartment with him, and he agreed that she should move out, despite her having nowhere to go and no income, of which he had both. She calls me and a few of her family members to come help her move, and we do so within a 12-hour period while the ex is crashing at his brother's for the day. Here's the kicker, of course, as is apparently somewhat typical of men in their younger 20s, this man had not contributed to furnishing this shared apartment. Every stick of furniture down to the mattress belonged to my friend. Every dish, every towel, every piece of decoration, every appliance, you name it, it was hers. And we took it all. Even the mattress. Even the shower curtain. We left that man with nothing at all except for a TV tray, a dog bowl sitting on top, of course, his Xbox sitting unplugged on the floor, and a sword, which was the sole bit of decoration he'd contributed. My final touch was to throw the wheeled ring under the microwave tray on top of the kitchen cabinets and to leave an onion hidden at the top of the closet. I had the pleasure of telling him to go frick himself when he tried to reach out after seeing his dog bowl living situation. My friend moved in with me and slept in my dining room for a month while gathering up her life. She now has her master's and is happily engaged. Last we heard of X, he was dating someone twice his age and is not, despite many attempts to be a cop.
Now this is what you call a legendary revenge moment. When her dirtbag ex dropped her out of nowhere, after convincing her to quit her job and sabotaging her stability, her support squad rallied in style. They moved her out and left him with nothing but a TV tray, his precious Xbox, and hilariously, a sword. The hidden onion and the microwave ring? Chef's kiss for pettiness. Sometimes the best way to get closure is to leave the trash behind, literally. Let's keep the good vibes going. On to the next story.
Left my roommate out in the cold. I've lived with a friend for 7 years now, and he's a nice enough guy, but over the years he has gotten more and more lazy. We have a dishwasher, but he'll leave his used dishes out for days. He never cleans. He has long hair that he leaves in the shower drain, and he expects me to do the laundry. You can imagine I'm getting pretty fed up with his behavior, and I've asked him to at least clean up after himself, but he always forgets after a few days. Lately he started forgetting his keys too and call me if I'm out, so I'll have to come back home to let him in. Of all the things he does, this is the most annoying because I have to drop what I'm doing just to go help him. Well, after the third time I had enough and I told him, if you forget your keys again, I won't come home. If you want to hide an extra key in the shed for when you forget your keys, you'll have to pay for it yourself. He said he would. He makes more money than me anyway. But lo and behold, he never did. The next time he forgot his keys was a cold and rainy day, and I told him again that I was done dropping everything for him, but I'd come home once I was done with my shopping. Just to be extra petty, I went into a few extra stores and really took my time deciding on what to buy. When I got home, he was sitting in the shed, mostly dry but very cold. He never bought an extra key, but he never again forgot his own after that.
Sometimes you've got to let consequences do the talking. After years of dealing with a lazy roommate who couldn't even be bothered to keep track of his keys, this storyteller had had enough. Leaving him out in the cold, literally, was the perfect petty move to drive the point home. And hey, it worked. He never forgot his keys again. Sometimes tough love comes with a bit of chilly weather. Now let's move on to the last story.
Redecorated an Airbnb. I rented an Airbnb for vacation. It was supposed to have an airbed and a queen bed to sleep a total of 4 people. There was no airbed. Texted the host multiple times. No response. The couch was huge, so my kids just slept there. We realized they didn't leave us the key to get into the pool. Texted the host multiple times. No response. It ended up being no big deal because people would let us into the pool area, but it wasn't what I paid for. I took matters into my own hands and rearranged the whole apartment. Every single picture, knick-knack, and small furniture piece was moved. I rolled up their area rugs and put them in the closet. They got back and were so pissed. We waited around to meet them. Hopefully, they thought twice before ever doing that to someone else, though.
Now this is how you handle bad hospitality with style. When an unresponsive Airbnb host failed to deliver on basic promises, this guest decided to leave a very clear message by turning their vacation rental into a chaotic masterpiece. Rearranging every picture, rug, and piece of furniture was the ultimate petty move. Hopefully, the host learned a lesson about ignoring their guests. And with that, we wrap up today's stories. Well, folks, today was full of petty revenge done right. From leaving a lazy roommate out in the cold to rearranging an Airbnb as a little thank you for bad service. Sometimes a little bit of pettiness is all it takes to send a message. If you enjoyed these stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join me for the next video. Stay fine, everyone, and I'll see you next time.